served village trustee from 2009 to his election as mayor in 2015. Prior to his service on the village board, George was a member of the Village of Homer Glen Planning Commission. George has had extensive volunteer background, serving the Homer Glen Foundation, the committee to incorporate the Homer Athletic Club, the Homer Glen Mike Hike. George has also been named Volunteer of the Year in 2005. George owns Prestige Auto Body and Country Club Hills. He's married to Rachel, and they have 3 children. So please join me in welcoming our mayor to the podium. George?
Hell, I didn't even know I did all that stuff. You know, you get old and you forget some things. I want to thank everyone for being here. I'd like to welcome everyone to the State of the Village presentation. And then I ask you to join me in thanking Chairman Larry Kilmer for the Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Directors of the Chamber of Commerce, and Executive Director Jane Bouchon for organizing today's event. The majority of this event will cover the accomplishments of 2016. It is exciting to talk about the accomplishments, but first I'd like to acknowledge some very important people and agencies. So if we could kind of hold the applause until we're done, because otherwise we're going to have a 3-hour meeting here. I'd like to recognize and thank Village Clerk Ann Holtz and the Village Trustees. If you could raise your hand so this way they know who you are. Trustee Carlo Caprio, Trustee Beth Rogers, Trustee Sharon Sweese, Trustee Christina Knitsky-Troike. We got to still work on that, that's too long. Trustee Brian Berrien and Trustee Mike Costa. I don't know if Mike made it today. His work schedule is horrible. So, and then it says here that they want you to stand. But could the village clerk and the trustees who are with us today please stand? You can sit right back down. I'd like to thank our new village manager, Mike Mertens, and members of the village staff. It is the village staff who carry out the policies and directives of the board. They make it happen. A number of volunteer committees also give generously of their time to provide guidance and recommendations to the village board and staff. I want to express my appreciation to each and every one of you for your continued hard work on behalf of the residents of Homer Glen, and would the staff of the village and committee volunteers please stand up to be recognized. Come on, I know you're all out there. The group that I have that works for the village, our staff, is a wonderful group. It's like a family. Everyone steps up whenever anyone else needs help. And it's a beautiful thing to see. No fighting, just everything kind of going in the right direction. There are a number of area and regional elected and appointed officials who are here from governmental entities. And in particular, I would like to recognize State Representative of the 37th District, Margot McDermott. Margot, if you want to step up, that's fine. Anthony Dubicki of the Office of Illinois House Republican Leaders, Jim Durkin. Village Trustee Paul Jitikas and Village Administrator George Schaefer from the Village of Lamont, and the City Administrator from Lockport, Ben Benson. We greatly appreciate our intergovernmental partners, including representatives who are here today. From Homer Township, our library district, School District 33C, our friends at Lockport Township High School, the Homer Highway Department, the Will County Sheriff's Office, and I have a story in 1 second about that, Office of Homer Township Fire Protection District, the Will County Center for Economic Development, and the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau. I just wanted to thank the Will County Police. Yesterday, if you didn't hear, we had an incident. We had an armed robbery at 151st and Bell Road. where some nitwit came in here with a shotgun, bumped the lady in the head, or maybe a little bit more than a bump because she went to the hospital, got in an accident with his car. At least I heard two different versions on this one. So he had to steal another car. And thankfully, to the Will County Police and Dan Troike, they arrested the man 5 hours later, 6 hours later. He was hiding in a shower in a hotel room. So to me, this can't make me more proud of who we have protecting us. Will County Police are, as far as I'm concerned, I will never change. Maybe the next mayor will, but I won't change it. They're very cost effective. They do an absolutely wonderful job, and they never turn you down on anything that you ask. If you ask them to write the tickets, they kind of don't like doing it. But we have too many people in the village that are upset that we have speeders. Now, if we could just get the ones that were complaining to slow down, we'd be much better. So, who's in the audience right now? We have Homer Township Supervisor Pam Myers, the Homer Township Clerk Lindsay Soa, Library District Shiri Kozalaha, School District 33C Superintendent Dr. Kara Coglinis, Lockport Township Superintendent Dr. Todd Wernert, Homer Highway Department Highway Commissioner Mike DeVivo, Will County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Jim Holly, and also Dan Troike, Homer Township Fire Protection Chief Chris Lacasius. He's our new chief. Great person to have. Northwest Fire Department Chief Dave Brinker. Will County Center for Economic Development John Gruling. And Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau Jim Garrett. Now we can clap. A very unfortunate tragedy hit our community last year, but it exemplifies some of the Homer Glen's strongest assets. Our strong sense of community, volunteerism, and cooperation. A father and daughter were both injured on December 15th when their home exploded and caught fire because of the natural gas leak in a subdivision nearby. This was at the intersection of Parker and 143rd Street. Nearly 24 families were evacuated from their homes until the area was deemed safe to re-enter. And it was actually a lot more than two. We had set up the Village Hall to be a place that they could go to until they could get back into the house. We made it as comfortable as possible for them because we knew how devastating this was to the village. But everything worked out. Our staff stepped up again. They were there till 11:30, 12 o'clock until they allowed everyone else to go home. And then the volunteers that were there who don't get any pay whatsoever, it's just, like I said, it's great being the mayor of this village. We have the best people. Village staff mobilized and opened up the Village Hall as a temporary shelter. The EMA, Fire Department, Fire Districts, Will County Sheriff's personnel, and the Red Cross responded with professionalism. Local restaurants made donations of food for the emergency responders who were faced with a long and cold night. Many families made contributions to the GoFundMe and United Way campaigns to help the residents impacted by this horrific incident. Village Hall was inundated with phone calls from residents wanting to lend a hand, and I am proud to be part of this kind of community in which residents care and worry about each other. And the cooperation among agencies and governmental partners is so well honed. Please keep the father and daughter in your thoughts for their continued rehabilitation. And we actually sat down with them Monday night. Ed and Megan look wonderful. They still have a ways to go. They still got to wear gloves for a little while because their hands haven't healed completely. Meg was just a little sweetheart. She was very, very shy when she first walked in, but within 5 minutes she did nothing but cut jokes and just had a very good time. So they are back home in Homer Glen, but they're renting a house until their house gets redone. But they do look wonderful, and thank you for everyone that helped in that situation. Your village government is committed to continually improve the quality of life and respond to the priorities of Homer Glen residents. 2016 was an eventful year, and the momentum created us helping to direct our focus for the new year. I am pleased to report that many projects long in the concept and planning stages are now underway, paving the way for more economic development in the coming years. The big news for this year is we are celebrating our 15th anniversary and the opening of our new Village Hall. We haven't been in every year, but it's still no rent, and it looks great. It is fitting that the village transformed into a new permanent Village Hall in 2016 as we celebrated our 15th anniversary as an incorporated village. Work on the Village Hall began in February of 2016 and culminated with the relocation of staff offices in July and the opening of the new village boardroom and community meeting room in August. The Village County Sheriff's Substation also moved into their new quarters at the east end of the building. The extensive renovation project came in well under budget. The village and I are proud that the community now has a proper civic center. Village staff received much needed space and the community gained a gathering place. The village renamed Woodbine Golf Course Heritage Park and began planning effort for the future development of a brand new 100-acre community park. Not many communities get the opportunity to plan a park improvement of such magnitude as this one. Input from our residents and other community stakeholders played an integral role in the important planning project. Heritage Park will truly be a park for the community, offering amenities for all age groups and interests. Eventually, the Homer Community Fest will relocate to Heritage Park in 2018. The concept plan for Heritage Park outlines the different areas and amenities of the park, which will be built over a series of phases. The village trustees and I look forward to seeing the first phase of park improvements initiated this summer with the construction of park circulation roads, the village green area, as well as the completion of the drainage improvements, which will definitely help out Woodbine and all the surrounding areas, Pebble Creek. We should eliminate some of this mess that we have here. The new park development creates the opportunity to alleviate flooding problems in the surrounding neighborhoods. I am pleased to announce that the village should be receiving an award of a 319 grant from the Environmental Protection Agency for Heritage Park project in the summer of 2017. The grant will deal with stormwater improvements and water quality improvements, including wetland restoration and the construction of a bioswale at the northeast corner of Heritage Park. The really great news is that the 319 grant will cover 60% of the project cost of about $866,000. Construction of the new Goodings Grove Park is anticipated to be completed at the end of 2017. The park is located at the end of the Greystone Drive behind the Home Depot with a future Goodings Grove Unit 5 subdivision. The village received an open space lands acquisition and development grant from the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency for this project in the amount of $171,000. The village trustees and I are pleased that this grant was fulfilled despite the budget impasse in Springfield. Like any major capital project, we are committed to seeking grant funding opportunities. The village completed the south extension of the Heroes Trail in 2016, adding 1.6 miles to the trail network. This selection of trail is located to the west of Bell Road near Martingale and runs through the ComEd right-of-way of 159th Street. I think I should put my glasses on. I don't catch it until after. Just don't want to admit that I have to have them. The new section of trail will ultimately connect to the multi-use path to be constructed along the north side of 159th Street and as part of IDOT's 159th Street improvements. The village will be constructing the Goodings Grove School extension to the Heroes Trail in 2017. This section of the trail will connect the Goodings Grove School on 143rd Street to the existing trail on Pin Oak Drive. In total, the village is receiving $657,120 in federal CMAQ grant funds for these two expansion projects. for the multi-use Heroes Trail, and our next focus will be to expand the trail westward, providing connections to the new Village Hall and Heritage Park. In order to properly invest in our future, the Village Board in January 2016 approved a 3-cent per gallon motor fuel tax to fund our parks and recreation initiatives. The tax became effective last March. The motor fuel tax is the least impactful way to generate substantial funds to support parks and recreation initiatives, because about 70% of our motor fuel sales come from customers passing through Homer Glen. With a motor fuel tax, non-residents contribute to the quality and life of our community. The village is completing a Phase 1 study for the widening of 151st Street from Bell Road to Cedar Road. Upon completion of the Phase 1 study, the village will seek to apply for grants for the completion of the plans as well as the actual construction of the project. A priority for the village is to complete public improvements in several residential subdivisions that were impacted by the recession and left previously unfinished. In 2016, the village worked with developers of Evelyn's Gate North, and Stonebridge Woods subdivisions to complete the roads in these subdivisions. Utilities relocation to make way for the widening of 159th Street was accomplished over the past year. With the coming of spring, IDOT will prepare to complete the traffic shift to the north side and begin to construct improvements along the entire south side of the corridor during 2017. When completed, traffic will be shifted to the south side for improvements along the north side of the corridor. IDOT projects that the roadway improvements will be substantially completed by late 2018. The village will continue to provide businesses, liaison services, and special signage support to 159th Street. Street corridor businesses impacted by the IDOT road construction actively and is also working to attract new businesses to town. The village continues to fix stormwater issues in Homer Glen. Last year, the village completed drainage projects in the Spring Creek and DeBoer Woods subdivisions. Upcoming projects for the current year will include completion of the drainage improvements projects in Erin Hills, Meadowview, and Woodbine subdivisions. In January of this year, the village passed legislation requiring our largest businesses to have automated external defibrillators available for our use by staff and patrons. The village will be installing an additional AED at Village Hall as well as each of our sheriff's patrol cars. We are committed to a proactive approach to reducing fatalities resulting from sudden cardiac arrest. So it's a big thank you to the village's Public Service and Safety Committee for their work on this. Our village stays true to its motto, community and nature in harmony, by continuing to be a leader and steward of the environment. From environmental programs and designations such as International Dark Sky Community to Best Developed Practices, the Village of Homer Glen is in recognition of the Chicagoland area for our environmental stewardship. The village received a Tree City USA designation from the Arbor Day Foundation again this year. The village has maintained this status every year since we first received the designation in 2009 in recognition of our high levels of tree care. Through the public parkway tree replacement, more than 300 diseased trees were removed from the parkways and 175 were replaced. More replacements will be planted in the spring and fall of 2017, and it will continue as needed. The Environmental Committee planned a tree at the library in recognition of Arbor Day and another tree at Heritage Park for Homer Glen Lands Days. The Norway spruce that was planted at Heritage Park was used for our very well-attended holiday tree lighting ceremony, which it is nice. Now it's off the street, so this next Christmas, which we don't want around too fast, but it's fun to come to. In conjunction with the Will County Land Use Department, the village has held a hazardous waste collection event this past September and is looking into other recycling opportunities for 2017. The village's 10th annual Earth Arbor Day event will take place at Kono Farm on Cedar Road, Saturday, May 20th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This free event is filled with entertainment and demonstrations that showcases the importance of protecting our natural resources and environment, and we all hope to see you there. I still got a little ways to go. I'll try talking quicker. The village is committed to financial excellence and integrity. The Village of Homer Glen has, for the 15th year in a row, received a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financing Reporting. The Certificate of Achievement Award is the highest form of recognition a municipality can receive in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Financial rating agency Standard & Poor's recognized the village's finance excellence. Standard & Poor's reported the village's bond rating at a AA+. The AA+ rating is a next to the top, and it means that the village has a very strong capacity to meet all of our financial commitments. The village's general $8.6 million operating budget forecast on the operating surplus of $53,000 for the current fiscal year. The upcoming fiscal year will also have a balanced general fund operating budget, with a surplus forecasted for the next fiscal year end. This budget will support outstanding services and significant public park, public building, and stormwater improvements. Homer Glen remains only one of a few Illinois communities that does not levy a municipal tax for general operations. In addition, unlike surrounding Will County and Cook County municipalities, the village has no electricity utility tax, no telecommunications tax, and no real estate tax transfer tax. That was rough. Retail sale tax receipts are therefore a significant revenue source for the general fund. $3.2 million of the general operating fund revenues in the current fiscal year have made up receipts from the 1% sales tax. This is one of the main reasons why it's so important to shop and dine in Homer Glen. For every $100 you spend in Homer Glen, retailers, $1 comes back as sales tax revenue to support local roads, police, and other community services. Economic development is a priority for the village. Homeowners and businesses see the opportunities and have made tremendous investments in Homer Glen. Homer Glen saw the construction of 76 new family homes last year, an increase of 172% from the prior year. For greater perspective, the village issued an average of about 23 new home permits each year for the 8-year period between 2008 and 2015. The 76 new home permits in 2016 is a 334% increase over this annual average of the previous 8 years. Retailers are attracted to housing activity, so it's great to see this uptick. The village saw over $2.9 million of construction and remodeling work by both new and existing businesses in Homer Glen last year. The village board and I appreciate this confidence, and we thank every business that is investing in the strong and vibrant future of our community. Over 22,800 square feet of commercial space was filled as a result of new and retained business activity last year. A total of 10 new businesses opened. 15 existing businesses were retained in Homer Glen through relocations, expansions, remodeling, and new ownership. Our newest business represents a diversity of niches. New restaurants and eateries include Lily Garden Vietnamese Restaurant and Ben's Soft Pretzels. We welcome Rising Lotus Yoga, Anytime Fitness, and Women's Primary Health Partners in the health and wellness niche. Fine Gems and Custom Jeweler, Lord & Hunt Jewelers, relocated from Orland Park and moved into Homertown Square to be closer to their customer retail base. New service businesses, including Randy's and Nico Automotive, the Audio Visual Specialists, Technology Professionals, and Independent Health Insurance Agency, Consumer Benefit Resources, further improved Homer Glen's business mix. Crosstown Realtors and Love Your Nails both nearly doubled their sizes with their relocations. The dance studio, longtime Homer Glen business, was successfully transitioned into a new owner who now operates as Momentum Dance Studio. Papa John's and Wednesdays both have new franchisees in the helm. Sleepy's transitioned into mattress firm. Under new ownership, the Orland Oak Center on 143rd Street has received a significant facelift. The facade renovation will be completed with new tenant signage. This important private investment will help attract new businesses, tenants into the village. Construction of the 2-tenant outlot building in Homertown Square added 4,200 square feet of commercial space to the inventory for our newest businesses recruitments. Starbucks, which is open with its popular drive-through. They open on February 16th, and Chipotle is targeted an opening around mid-April. More new businesses are on their way in 2017. We look forward to Frontera Sur Mexican Restaurant, Knud's Pizza opening in Grove Valley Center near Steamers, and to Lou Malnati's opening in Homer Town Square near Jewel in the coming months. The Village's growing retail base generates a significant amount of sales tax revenue that currently helps the Village to operate without levying municipal property taxes or utility taxes for general operations. So I'm very happy to report that retail sales are trending strong for us. Over the past 10 years, the 1% sales tax has grown 165% to $2.4 million received for fiscal 2008 and $3.2 million received for fiscal 2017. The dollar increase in sales tax receipts was over $800,000, representing an additional $80 million in retail sales in fiscal 2017 compared to fiscal 2008. For the current fiscal year, sales tax revenues are up 1% over the past fiscal year, which we are on track to receive $3.2 million by fiscal year end. Looking forward to the Village has a number of community developments and strategic planning initiatives in the works. Development regulations are undergoing to review to make them up-to-date and more user-friendly. The building department, along with the fire protection districts, are in process of updating the Village's building code. The revised building code will reflect the substantial changes in construction, technology, building safety, and energy conservation in the built environment that has taken place since last 2007 update. The subdivision and land development regulations are also being updated. These updates were needed because the Village essentially adopted Will County's regulations at the time of incorporation. Current deficiencies will be corrected and revisions will be made so that the updated ordinances are consistent with the rest of the Village codes and more user-friendly. While the state works to improve 159th Street, the Village is focusing on the extension of water and sewer mains to our western border. These utilities are crucial to realize new business development along the 159th Street corridor and the Village's western gateway to Gougar Road. The $2.2 million water main extension will be constructed within the 159th Street right-of-way on the north side of the road. The Village will realize cost savings taking advantage of timing the water main extension with IDOT's road improvement project. The $4.5 million Fittiman Creek sanitary sewer will be gravity main through the lower elevations of the watershed it will serve. The Village's staff and engineering consultants are working to complete all tasks to prepare the construction of the water and sanitary sewer extension. This plan will go out to bid for both projects in the summer. We anticipate starting the sewer main construction for it this summer. The water main construction is projected to start in the coming winter after IDOT shifts the traffic pattern from the south side to the north side. We are working with American Water, seeing we're putting in all the lines between the water and the sewer. We will keep the lines until they are completely paid back to the Village, and we will at that time add more lines. This way we can start getting American Water and sewer to the whole community, and we are working with American Water as best we can. We want to understand how the residents feel about the current state and the future of our community. In mid to late April, the Village will conduct a national citizen survey capturing residents' opinions on 8 aspects of community livability, community engagement, education, and enrichment, recreation and wellness, economy, built environment, natural environment, safety, and mobility. The survey has been used by more than 300 communities in the 45 states. 1,500 households throughout the Village will be randomly chosen to participate in the scientific survey. We have a great community and much to be proud of in Homer Glen. Our Village continues to be acknowledged for its quality of life and achievements, ranging from safe city rankings to excellence in financial reporting and environmental stewardship recognitions. Your support of local businesses helps grow our business. Community and helps the Village to attract new businesses. Please shop and dine in Homer Glen first. You can sign up for automatic news alerts and my mayor's blog via text or email on the Village's website. Like us on Facebook. We have our own site now. It is a Village of Homer Glen site. It's an official one, so everyone understands that everything out there was not ours. This one, it's ours. So we want to keep everyone informed, but our biggest thing, we want you to know the truth. If there's a question that anybody has, ask us. We'll answer anything that you want. Don't go on some page that there is no idea what's happening or what's going on. It's just not right. Go to our page or make a phone call. We want to keep everyone informed. Your active participation in village initiatives is important as we move forward. If you have a question, concern, or great idea, please know that I, the village trustees, and the village staff are here for you. We will respond. I am happy to work with each of you here today as we continue to create Homer Glen's bright future. I thank you for your attendance, the village trustees, staff, and all our dignitaries here, and I will stick around for a while to answer any questions that you have. But remember, if something comes up, make that phone call. Don't listen to this. I won't go any further than that.